Something beginning with rocks. Oh, thank God for that. Here we are. Hello again. It's me again, and this is the How to Murder Feet Southwest Coast Path Week 5 extravaganza thing. How to Murder Feet, whatever. It's been so long I've forgotten how I introduce these things. So here I am again. Halfway time-wise, not quite halfway distance-wise. This is Lizard Point. It's the most southerly point in the UK, in Britain, or something. One of those things. I mean, one of those definitions includes Jersey and Guernsey and Falkland Islands, so that doesn't count, but quite southerly anyway. And frankly, I find it a lot more charming than Land's End. There's a few little gift shops and cafes, but it really doesn't up itself as much as Land's End, frankly. Ye olde lifeboat launch or slipway or something. 1914, that says on there. And I've got another week of hiking to do. So is it? It's Sunday, September the 15th, 2019. And I've done 4 weeks. And this is the beginning of week 5. And there's 4 weeks to go, including this one. So, yeah. I don't know where the actual halfway point is, the physical halfway point on the path. Because this is 300 miles up to here. And I think, 20 miles that way, because it's 640 miles in total. This is far too early in the morning to be doing this kind of thing, these kind of maths. Anyway, so yeah, hopefully there's something on the path somewhere pointing out where halfway is, but if I don't miss my guess, that will be, not today, but some point tomorrow we'll cross that. I've got all the usual clobber, 14 kilos this time. I'm worrying I've lost 3 kilos from the backpack somehow. It suggests there's something fairly substantial I've forgotten to pack. I suppose we'll find out as we go. Yeah, tell you what, why don't I just crack on and then we'll get the maps out a little way into stuff. Okay. There's a lighthouse there. Don't know if you can see that. The there's a proper name for it, but the big glass spinny thing is there and spinning. Unlike so many I see these days on these paths, it's not just a B&B anymore. It actually does useful work. Foghorns there. I should have popped up here last night and come and have a look at it in the dark, but I was tired after the travel. First headland to try and traverse over there. Good stuff. Look, an interesting thing. Lizard Wireless Station. Marconi's Lizard Wireless Station. And there's some text which you can pause to read if you like, because I'm too busy. There it is. I think somebody lives in there. Next one tries to rent it out as a cottage. I think they've still got the masts and things. So I don't really know what the background of this one is, but as ever, you're probably watching this in a YouTube video on an internet that also has access to Wikipedia, so I expect you can find out if you're interested. But yeah, I guess presumably Marconi didn't just have the one station over at Poldhu Bay, which is about 5 miles in that direction, I think, over the hill. Not that far from where we finished last time. And over there's the Lloyd's signal station, it says. Zoom, here we go. And again, I'm guessing completely at this point, but I'm guessing that's where agents of the Lloyd's shipping insurers in ye olde past would stand watch, keeping an eye out for ships as they came in, and presumably telegraphed back to London to say that they'd made it across the Atlantic safely or something like that. Don't know. That's how I'd arrange things anyway, if I had limited technology. Doing well there, had a big old downer up there, and coped with it well. Didn't have to stop and wheeze to death and see spots or anything. So I think I'm in reasonable fitness, actually. I always seem to find the September ones of these easier than the May ones for some reason. Maybe it's the temperature, or just out of shape over winter. I've been doing exercise over the summer. Halfway through the couch to 5k again. Go me. Yeah, got quite a pressing schedule today, so onward. Gosh, far too much text to go in one go. That's the National Coast Watch Institution. It's in 4 different languages. Well, 2. Yeah, look, a map. I've got proper maps, it's fine, we'll have a look at that in a minute. You are here. There we go, started there. Done that already. Anyway, Cadrith Cove, that's the first big thing to hit today. Mid-morning, early lunch perhaps. And then onward. Approximate walking times from here. Cadrith, 45 minutes. Good day. Some big old landmarky thing there. Just marine navigation. It's all satellites and GPS now. I don't think anyone cares. So it must be reassuring to see that kind of thing after the end of a transatlantic voyage. Just a bit cheery. Oh, a couple of little small sailing boats out today. There's hardly any wind at all. I think they're just puttering, basically, just making time against the current, if nothing else. Don't even know if they've got the engines running, perhaps. I still don't own a yacht, by the way. Yeah. So yeah, this National Coast Guard Institute thing, it's a voluntary thing. People sign up, become sort of a bit like special constables, but for coast guards and the sea, I suppose. And they just spend, often retired people, because they got the time, you know, spend long watches in little remote headlands. I've seen a couple of these on my travels around the coast so far. Just there with the old binoculars, keeping an eye out for distress flares and what have you. I don't know if they look for smugglers or whatever, I don't know how you'd tell. There's quite a lot of ships out there. That's because Falmouth is nigh. Go on, focus. You can do it. Yeah, it's all grey on grey, isn't it? Yeah, you can sort of see them. And Falmouth is, I was once told, second deepest harbour in Europe. I mean, I forgot what the answer to the obvious follow-up question was, but Carrick Roads, we're going to have to cross those on a ferry on beginning of day 3, I think, so we'll see much more of Falmouth as we get there. But yeah, deep water container harbour. Not as popular as Avonmouth or Southampton, obviously. I guess the actual shipping lanes are further south. I don't know. Maybe these ones are just going to Southampton, but this is the convenient route. Take the racing line around Cornwall. I don't know. Should be seeing a few of them. There's no sign of that massive ship carrier we saw last time, that Boca Vanguard thing. Yes, 4 months later, it's probably found somewhere else better to be. There we go. Balanced pebbles. Because we can. That's why we put handprints on cave walls 10,000 years ago or whatever. We like to change and transform our surroundings. It's territorial, perhaps. Also the joy of balancing rocks on other rocks. Why not? Might have a go myself. So I think that's Cadrith over there. Possibly that inlet there. Or is that Church Cove? I'm not sure. I was having trouble auto-focusing in this light. Everything's grey. Oh, it's because I had AFL locked. Okay. Part 200 in settings Tim's camera he didn't know he had. Yeah, there we go. AFL, that's locked. Yeah, so yeah, that's probably where I'm heading for a cup of coffee next. Bit of jaggedy coastline. I'm not anticipating so much trouble with this stretch, this whole leg. As you can see, it's mostly cliff top, rather than sort of in lots of inlets and lots of bays and lots of beaches and then cliffs and then beaches. But we'll see. Heading north, which is weird. Yeah, it's northeasterly mostly, this leg. It's like the opposite direction to the stretch where I did Padstow down to St Ives. It's basically going up the other side of that long peninsula that is Cornwall. So the light's all wrong, although the clouds are helping that at the moment. But yeah, I'll be walking into the sunrise and away from the sunset from pretty much here all the way back to Poole Harbour and Swanage now, which is a strange sensation. Just the light feels all wrong. Still, as long as I keep the sea on my right hand side, I should be okay. If the sea's on my left hand side, I'm doing it wrong. It's generally the rule. That's generally why I don't need to look at the maps a lot yet. I still haven't sat down and got the maps out. They're all bagged up. It's quite a faff to get them out. I promise I'll show you my overall plan once I stop and have a rest, which I haven't had to do yet. I don't know. Maybe that's just early giddy excess, or whether I'm generally at a high point in my yearly stamina. We'll see. This is the Lizard lifeboat station. It's that same sort of blue curved pseudo 60s design we saw on the Padstow Constantine North Coast path. Closed. Yeah. We've got some sort of rapid descent elevator thing for getting to the boat in a hurry. There's a slit away on the back there, I can't quite see it from here. Yeah, love it. Particularly enjoy this poster here. Cliff paths are dangerous, stay away from the edge. Is your life really worth that one extreme photograph? Probably just keep quiet about my holiday. Yeah, there we go, that's what it looks like from the sea. And I'm stood up on here. Quite impressive. Yes. Huge organisation. But then we are a national maritime nation, or certainly were, anyway. I think they're entirely voluntary, donation based. I don't think the government pays for any of this stuff. It's all like charity appeals and little boxes in garage petrol station forecourts and stuff. Astonishing work they do. There's memorials for various ships. Yeah. I think my path is over here. Yeah, there we go. Another idyllic little hideaway. That one with the new roof there, that's for let. Holiday let. There's a whole load of leaflet stuck in a little brochure rack in front of it. I think if you have to ask how much. So this is Church Cove, and I thought that would be the coast path, but apparently the coast path is over there. So I guess we get a little bit of shortcut. Church Cove, purchased with the aid of funds donated by the Caravan Club, 1976. Don't know what that is in today's money. You know, I always thought that in the cyberpunk future dystopia nightmare we're all heading for, that it would be big Japanese corporations like Mitsubishi and Toyota and all that, Ono Sendai, that will be the big megacorps with the big glowing neon blimps and stuff. And it's totally going to be the National Trust, because basically once some land is sold to the National Trust, they never let go of it, I don't think. Don't know that they sell off stuff for development very often, don't hear about it certainly. So in the year 2077, aka Cyberpunk 2077, the entire British Island will be owned by the National Trust, and it'll be some big neon oak leaves floating on the side of dirty blimps hovering over the slums. It'd be amazing. God, I'm blithering already. It hadn't taken long, did it? What, half the morning? Oh, keep going, you fool. Oh, look, sun's coming out. That's quite nice. Sparkly sea. And a big rock to sit on top of the hill. It's time to stop. I've been going about an hour now, 10:15 roughly. Just had a big old swig of water, a quarter of my first bottle. I'd forgotten the how entertaining looking out for water was. There we are. You can see in the distance that telegraph signal house thing and the lifeboat ramp there. Lifeboat ramp. Let's do the map bit. I haven't done it yet. So it's 3 maps today. We've got this one, Lizard, Falmouth and Helston. Good old 105, Falmouth and Mevagissey, which I think is an awesome name. We'll be hearing more about that, passing through it in fact. And then St Austell and Liscard, including Foul, Loo and Lostwithel. So let's get that big old map on the back. There we go, zoom a little. There you go. So we're at Lizard, more or less, bottom there. And we are basically walking all the way to St Austell. It's a little bit past St Austell, a place called Parr, where there's a train station. Interestingly, whatever day I make it to Parr, if I can get there 5 p.m. or earlier, I can just step on a train and be home the same day. Get home for about 11 or 10 or 11 the same night. I won't have to find a B&B or an inn or pub or whatever. So that's a challenge. That'll be the Thursday or Friday. The itinerary says this is a 6-stage thing. So they're reckoning day 1 to Coverack, which is this is the wrong map. Let's get the one with Lizard written on it. There we go. Yes, so day 1 to Coverack, which is here, and I'm coming up on Cadgwith already today. So Coverack for day 1, Helford and Helford Passage, the Helford River crossing there. That's day 2. Falmouth for day 3. Damn it, it's the volume button. It stops and starts the recording. Got to learn to use my hands better. Anyway, yeah, so day 1 to Coverack, day 2 to Helford, day 3 to Falmouth, and then from day 4 to Portloe, day 5 to Mevagissey, and then day 6 to Par. And of course, as is traditional, I think I can probably compress all that into 5 days by just pushing ahead on day stages. So those stopover points are not set in stone. And in fact, I've picked out a sort of likely looking abandoned quarry somewhere around Porthallow for my first night's stop, and then do the Helford crossing and into Falmouth for day 2. So we'll see. Falmouth being the big town of the trip, that's what would have otherwise been my midweek B&B stop, change clothes, have a shower type thing. Be doing that at the end of day 2 instead. So it should be quite whiffy by the time I reach Par. I don't know though, wild camping's definitely on the cards this week. Yeah, we'll see how we go. So yes, I can't be bothered to unfold the map now. I'm just going to sit and chill for a bit. Enjoy this wide angle scenery. There we go. Yeah, I found this show and tell already. That is a piece of serpentine. Go on, you can zoom. Not sure how good this thing is for macro work. Focus. Yeah, there we go. Serpentine, sort of greenish grey rock. It's that colour apparently because of the high concentrations of mercury and water in it. I wouldn't recommend pounding it up and consuming it in an invigorating Victorian energy drink. Yeah, they carve it up, make ornaments, and little lighthouses and chess sets and things. They were in Lizard, the village itself. There was quite a few little workshops and gift shops selling the stuff, the little lighthouse ornaments. So I got myself a souvenir already. Now I'm going to have to carry this little rock all the way around. Hey ho. Yeah. So yeah, so a bit of slightly ambitious. I say ambitious, but assuming I don't get the same enervating first day blues I had last time, I should be all right for where I've picked out today. And then the idea is basically to compress the 6 days into 5 and still get into Par for 5 p.m. on Thursday. It's my ambition anyway. And then I can just step on a train, be home that day, get myself an extra day at home playing computer games, living the life. But yes, that's good. If that cloud's clearing, that means we're in for a nice day today then. I was a bit concerned about this morning's weather. I mean, yesterday the weather said it was going to be sunny all week, so it's quite uncertain. I think it's just because we've got low speed and quite variable winds. It's hard to predict what's going to happen. Once the wind settles in for a big long blow in a steady direction, it means you're a lot more certain about what's going to happen next, I suppose. Yeah, good stuff. Enjoying it so far. Oh, you'll be pleased to know. Yes, I've taken under advisement the purchase of some nose hair trimming gadget device. So that's a milestone in a young man's life. The first time he has to deal with nasal hair on an industrial basis. I can only keep pressing that bloody very volume button. It's a good phone, but too many buttons on the exterior. Anyway, yes, as I was saying. I was going on about nose hair, which I don't think anybody really wanted me to go on about, so I think I might just stop and let that bit of footage be lost. So what have we got to look forward to? I wonder if I can see Coverack from here, or whether it's around the end of Peninsula Headland there. It might be just around the end of that one. I'd have to check. I'll actually have a look on the proper map. Yeah, Coverack, that's Black Head, apparently. So they sort of put it like that, angle, yeah. So that's called Black Head. Cadgwith is probably just up ahead then, around that headland. It's probably somewhere for a cup of coffee and maybe a small shortbread, I don't know. But yeah, Coverack is around the end of that one. And then my hopefully abandoned quarry. I hope it's abandoned, or I'm going to be in for a very assertive alarm call in the morning. But yeah, that's about another 4 or 5 miles beyond. The idea is to clear my first 2. Normally I ramp up to the overextending on the day stages, but I'm going to try and hit the ground running this week. I mean, in my defence, I'm anticipating it to be easier going than the north coast, particularly that section out of St Ives. That was a backbreaker. It was really jumbled, almost as bad as the Bude Heartland Quay section. But the south coast is supposed to be gentler, supposed to be milder, supposed to be less rugged. So the distance should be able to go up accordingly. So that's what the plan is anyway. Yeah, right, that's enough sat here rambling. I'm going to pack up and crack on. Shall speak to you again soon. There's a bit of dust on the cover. There we go. That's why I do this. Look at that. Fantastic. Wow, if only you could smell what I can smell. Very fishy. Working lobster pot thing. Cadgwith Bay? Cadgwith Cove Bay, whichever. Nothing open. 10 o'clock on a Sunday. It's fine. I had a huge fry up this morning, I don't need to stop. Should crack on. Oh, Coast Guard warnings notwithstanding. Check that out down there. You just lean over this cliff, sea kayaking. I'll putter about in the rocks. It's very calm for it actually. There's almost no spray on the rocks themselves. Don't know if it's mid-tide or something. Good spot for it. I'll just move sideways with that bush not in the way. There we go. Steve Backshaw, eat your heart out. So over there as well. Lovely day for it. It's utterly calm out there. Look at it. It's hardly breaking at all against those rocks. It's probably one of the safest days to do it. Turning into a lovely day. I am blessed with the weather. I don't think I've had any serious adverse weather except twice on this trip so far. There was that day near Barnstable, which for all I know is just what Barnstable's like. I had to get all the waterproofs out. And then a little bit of it around Tintagel. Which I'd just finished a life or death scramble in the middle of the night down from a really dangerous pitch, so didn't care what the weather was doing anyway. So far so good. I mean, I'm prepared for it all, I don't mind. As long as it's not actually violently physical winds throwing me off a cliff or actual lightning bolts, I don't mind, but it's nice if it isn't raining. Sun or cloud, I don't mind. It's not so hot this time of year. It's mid-September now, it's eased off since from the 30 degrees we were having earlier in the year. Just about right. Which, in fairness, is why I do it this time of year. Yeah, good. Look, history and culture. Serpentine works. Mantelpieces, gravestones, shop fronts and polished ornaments. Yeah. It's just ruins now. Probably some jetty would have been ferrying it all up to the city, towns and stuff. Yeah, Poltescu they're at the moment. Because this is Poldark country, a real place, a real Poldark. Poldark mine itself is up just beyond Helford inland a bit, about 10 miles north, yeah, somewhere like that. Although I haven't seen the TV show. I understand it involves a lot of shirtlessness. Shan't be getting my shirt off. Ponies there grazing in the ruins. Oh, there's a juxtaposition for you, look at that. Ye oldie draft horse. Ye modern transatlantic container ship. That appeals to me. These little windswept stunted trees. This little sheltered valley. I'll go back up again now. The rest of the weary. Late morning, day one. First golf course. I must have said this is a rather scrappy affair. This is probably more likely a holiday park with a bit of field that they stuck some flags in. Proper fairway. Of course I've lost the path. I think it runs along the edge of this. Hey ho. Good walk spoiled and all that. Yeah, making good headway there. I believe this might be Kennack Sands. Although looking at it from here, I think we've started to hit the famous south coast gravelly beach. All the stuff on the north coast was golden yellow sands. This all looks distinctly It's rocky. I suppose we'll have a close-up look shortly. Yeah, and almost no surf to speak of, although it is very calm today anyway. But yeah, if you want sea and surfing, go to the north coast. South coast is more about sun and chilling out and relaxing. God, that last valley was a bit of a challenge. Like I keep saying, aches and injuries. I think it'll be the shoulders that'll be the thing again. I mean, I've done a fair bit of hiking throughout the year, so legs and feet are fine. It's the and it's not even the added weight on the legs and spine either. It's the shoulder straps again. Not really much I can do about them. They are fairly comfortable. It's just the duration and the weight. Just need to toughen up, which will come. And I'll end up with the usual red blisters and bruises across my shoulder blades, but worth it in the name of whatever it is I'm doing here. Personal achievement. Yeah, let's call it that. Good. Carrying on. Check out all the blackberries. Enormous harvest. Bumper teeth. Just the right time of year for them and all that. Nature's provender and all. Shan't bother myself because I'll end up spending the next 2 hours trying to pick seeds out of my teeth and my tongue, and that'll be aggravating. But yeah, look at it. There's a faint drone coming from the hedges, and a lot of bees or wasps or something in there. Storing it away for the winter, I imagine. Don't know if they bother with the fruit. I thought it was the flowers. There's no flowers left. Yeah, splendid. A lot of sloes in there as well. It's not blueberries, sloes. S-L-O-E. It's not S-L-O-W. I think you can eat them as is, but you can put them in gin to make sloe gin, which is a kind of almost sherry-like red-pink variation on the gin, which quite changes its taste and character. It's quite nice. My dad makes it. You just pickle the berries and then strain them out after a while. You can use any old crap gin for it as well. It's good. Yeah. I don't really want to spend the next 4 days lugging a carrier bag full of blackberries and sloes around with me, so I'm just going to have to leave these where they are. I've seen it in hedgerows all across the south of England though, definitely the time. Fish. No idea what species. A little bit of freshwater creek running down into the sea there. Cannock Sands just over the edge there. It's sandier than I thought when you get close. A bit grey though. Particulate rock matter rather than sandstone, I suppose. Just see the signal station on the end there? Maybe. Anyway, saw a sign saying Coverack 5 miles. It's about 1 o'clock now, which means I should be at the end of today's stage by about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which is about right. Consistent with my previous progress, consistent with the rough plan I've made for myself as well, so that's good. Just stopped, had a half-litre bottle of full fat Coke and an ice cream, cornetto. Keep me going. I'll stop at Coverack and have something proper to eat, I think, and then press on into the afternoon, evening and try and find my quarry. That's the plan. Got a bit of a wild headland to do now, 5 miles of it, and a bit of a climb as well, it looks at it. And it's turned out lovely all of a sudden. I mean, it was completely clouded when I woke up this morning. Now it's no clouds in sight. Faint wisps on the horizon. Brilliant. Don't know, some sort of trout. Hard to tell. Everything looks like a trout to me. Covered in bees. Must be the ivy flowers. Yeah, there's one. Oh, gone. Yeah, there are flowers here, sort of. Working away. Bits of nectar. That's a drone or a worker, I think, that one. Big few fat bumblebees as well. Whole hedges humming. Oh, I fall into it. Oh, apples as well. September special there. Lone apple trees, leftover bits of orchards from long vanished crofters and such. Magical. Is that familiar steam train sound? That last one was intense. Pretty much steps the entire way up. You can see how steep that is. And two blokes down at the bottom watching me climb, so I couldn't just, collapse. Pride. So I think we're at the top anyway. We've got to get onto that hill and now we can see those people on the horizon. Yeah, I think it's a bit of a meander to there actually from here, during which I should be able to recover a bit. So that's probably Black Head. So around that headland, and we should be able to see Cyfrac, the nominal end of day today, and beyond. Lovely beach down there. I mean, it's not as sandy and yellow as I'd like, but flat, clear, shallow seas. Two people down there, because it's an absolute bastard to get to. No vehicular access inland, it's just this footpath. You see, we can go come in by sea, I suppose. Kayak or whatever. Certainly calm enough. But I can move on. Nothing to say here. It's quiet contemplation of another magnificent Cornish coastal view. Blackhead lookout. I couldn't say anything in there because there was a bloke outside having a snooze. But yeah, the stencils on the window showing you the different spotter's guide for the different kinds of shipping out there, which suggests that this is not specifically a busy day. One there, another one there, one there, another one there. I can see about 5. I think I can see a couple more on the distant horizon as well, but you probably won't to make that out with the camera view. Seems like the ones on the far horizon are going left to right and the ones nearer are going right to left. Maybe there's like lanes. Would make sense. Cut down on marine tragedy. But I mean, these probably all, I don't know if that's a racing line up to wherever, Southampton, or whether they are going to Falmouth. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, words failed me on the guest book there. Very nice. It's very nice. So, Cyfrac, somewhere just over this hill, I think. Get myself a cream tea or something. I'm definitely not in the mood for hot stuff, actually. It's sufficiently hot as it is, thank you. Cold drink, salad, something, whatever. Save the pasty and the cream tea for another time. I can't believe it's mid-September. It's been brutal in here in January. Clouding over now. Weather's throwing shade at me. It's alright, I quite like the shadow actually. That time of day when the sun gets a bit boisterous. There's no wind still though. Not sure what happened here. Yeah, let's hope Bridge Mark 2 does the job. There I go. Don't know how new this one is, this year maybe. Not sure why that one was torn up. Doesn't look that rotten. Oh well. Moving on. That's Coverack. Not bad, 2:30. Still got about 5 hours of useful daylight left. Could make it a Helford passage, to be honest, if I really push it, but I don't really want to push it. So. So that was Coverack. And already I'm on the road. Had a prawn Marie Rose sandwich and then the pub on the very end of that tip promontory there. Zoom. Which was heaving. Sunday afternoon, it's cut-overy day, and it looked like some sort of wedding party was going on there as well. So yeah, so at the far end of the garden, glaring at seagulls. Lovely. Well, it's a ploughman's, but we don't do ploughman's on a Sunday. Fair enough, their pub, their rules. So I'm pressing on. It's about, today it's 3:30. Yeah, overachieving again. I got a feeling the little quarry thing I picked out from Google Space Maps is only about another half an hour away. Seems like I have to sit there for 3 hours doing nothing till the sun goes down. I don't want to push on too far because, well, you know, partly I don't want to wear myself out anyway, but also I'm going to hit the Helford ferry, which I will be required to use. I'll show you on the map at some point, but basically if I don't use that ferry, it's like another 20 miles of inland tributaries and rivulets. Basically I have to go almost all the way up to Helston and back. The coast path uses the ferry, goes across the ferry on the map, but of course, you know, it doesn't run 365, so it's 24/7 365, that's the phrase, isn't it? Yeah, basically it only runs at certain times. It runs up until the end of October in terms of season, so it's going to be there, but obviously I'll have to wait till Monday morning if I hit it after a certain point. And if I hit it just on the last one this day, I'll have really pushed and done 20 miles in one day, which is probably a bit overdoing it on the first day, but also I'll find myself in a fairly busy village trying to find a ninja camping site. So basically before, somewhere up there and over, I need to find somewhere to stop and rest for the night before I try and push across the Helford River. Hiking problems. It's all fine, there's loads of, I can sit up any old where really. I mean, this is a bit slopey, but I'm sure I could find something tent worthy anywhere around here really. I'm getting the hang of the spot in the ninja camping pitch. Still, be nice if the plan holds. I don't know, I don't really want to push on too much further than what I've already scoped out. Oh, we'll see how I feel when I arrive at my identified location and what the time is, I suppose. There's nothing wrong with just sitting around doing nothing for a couple of hours, although it's just sort of run against my nature on these trips. I don't really hang around anywhere particularly long, just sitting there. So yeah, clouds come over again, a little bit of light there. It's good. I pick up a bit of a breeze as well. See, I think it's going to be a problem right away all the way through this week, is that the prevailing wind is southwesterly along here, and all of that stuff tends to block and shelter it. We're basically running northward, so this bay is just glassy calm, and I suspect it's like that most of the time. So I don't mind. I mean, you know, there's definitely such a thing as too much wind, but also no wind at all makes it quite hot work with the hiking. The sweating doesn't work as well. So I'm getting a bit of a breeze now, though, as we keep cresting over each headland. It's good. Right, as I'm going to carry on, let's say I can probably get another. Well, there's a sign from Coverack there. That said 3.5 miles to Porth, something or other, Warrow or whatever the next one is. And that's the other way, quite far the other side of my chosen spot. So probably only got about another half a mile or a mile of hiking to do, which I can easily do in about 20 minutes, half an hour. And then what? I mean, it's about 4 hours before sunset. In that time I could potentially cover 10 miles, which is just too many. I think my basic problem is I need to stop soon, at some point. Anyway, I'm going to carry on again for a bit more, because the sooner I get to where I want to be, the longer I get to scope it out and check out the facilities, and, well, more precisely, lack of facilities. Problem is, everyone loves a sunset. So all these holiday makers in about a third of those cottages, for example, will be out and about on these promontories when the sun goes down, which is pretty much when I'm trying to set up and do my ninja stealth camping. So there's usually quite a lot of people about. I don't know. I'm learning not to care, to be honest. I might just set up anyway, and who cares what people think. Lots of any of them being a police officer or something are quite slim, and it's a very minor offence. Yeah. Good. Carrying on then. Yes, this is called Lowland Point. You can see why. Grazing land that just runs straight to the edge of the sea. A 5 foot, 6 foot drop, and then sea. And I mean, this does sort of on first glance look like ideal ninja camping territory, but there are fresh cow pats in here, and I don't really want a herd nosing its way through my tent in the morning. So probably have to keep moving on. And yeah, it's still very early. About 4:30 maybe. See, I think that might be the jetty that I picked out on this Google Maps, but there's people in speedboats over there, and I can see a caravan at the top, and there's a lot of fences and large signage. I don't know, not sure if I'll be able to get away with it in there, I don't know, have to see. That was the plan anyway. One of those abandoned buildings might have worked as a sort of shell and just pitch inside, but it's way too early. So I might just keep going and see what turns up. Yeah, I mean, absolute worst case, I just turn up in Helford, having done like 26 miles in one day, and see if I can find a pub or B&B. But or just, huddle down on the wharf, wait for the first ferry in the morning. I don't know, something will turn up, it always does. Not too worried. It's enormously tranquil here though. Such calm sea. I mean, I think it's just naturally sheltered bay anyway, but I think the weather conditions are really calm as well today. So, 3 blokes go past on paddle boards, The sea holds no terrors for today. That in the far distance, I think, is the headland, and I can't remember what it was called, but between Portlow and Mevagissey. Mevagissey's on the other side, so we'll be getting there. It's probably about 3 or 4 days time. Probably we'll be crossing around that. If my previous experiences have been any guide, it's seeing that kind of headland at that distance and that hazy, I'd start to know exactly how many days away that is on foot. So that's probably 3 to 4 days away. That Falmouth being to the left and the other side of the headland somewhere. So yeah, probably we'll end up going around that Roseland Heritage Coast. We're still on the Lizard Heritage Coast at the moment. Transition around Falmouth. Alright. Okay. Can I have a 10 o'clock alarm call, please? I mean, it's pretty faded, and I don't think anything's been on that flagpole in a good long time, so I think these are old leftover signs from a long time ago. Essentially, yes, leftover explosive stains, but I doubt anyone actually mines anything here anymore and stave all that stuff on the jetty there. Still, I could be wrong. Family heading up the path ahead of me. I shall let them be their miners' canaries for this trip. Having said all that, I think, well, just given that it's so early as well, I mean, I was planning on probably camping somewhere in amongst those block buildings at the top there, but since I've got 3 hours of daylight left, and still people tootling back and forwards on the path, I might just keep going, see where I end up. So yeah, something else will suggest itself. And yeah, I mean, these signs are even giving me some small degree of pause. I don't think anyone's been blasting the. I mean, look at the greenery all along the edges. This is an abandoned quarry if ever I saw one. Still, you never know. They may still have security patrols. Nah, stick to the path, like they say. See what we find on the far side. I'm in a kind of, I don't know, viewing area of sorts. Fence. See the actual quarry. As I suspected, no quarry work gone on in there in a very long time. But they got a point, you know. Don't know how stable any of those walls are. Not very soft ground either. A couple of gulls in the lake there. Who knows how deep that is as well. Probably considerably. Yeah, it's alright. No planning on climbing that fence. Back to the path. Well, that was going to be it. Just in there. But I didn't see this bloody great fence from Google Maps base view. Because you don't really, because it's like, you know, straight up and down. Yeah. So I'm not climbing the fence. I mean, the backpack's too heavy, but then also that really is trespassing at that point. It's taking the piss. Plus all these danger explosives, like warning signs, are giving me a bit of an unwelcoming vibe. So I'm going to keep going. It's far too early to be bedding down anyway, so yeah, best laid plans and all that. I find it's best not to have plans, really. They just slow you down. Onward. Look at this. That's the quarry just up there. Just down here could be Long Beach. A couple of people walking about on it. Nicely unsport there, no convenient car park. And a big grassy flat, not very rocky and no cattle foreshore. Should be ideal for camping. It's tempting, but I've got about 3 hours before sunset. So I could just sit here for 3 hours. I'd rather get 3 hours of distance covered though. Anyway, this is weird because the coast path actually goes inland here. I can't bother to get the map out at the moment, but there's basically it cuts this entire hill and headland off and then rejoins the other side for some reason. I don't know, cliff subsidence or private ownership. There's another old quarry the other side of that headland there. I don't know. There's people out and about with dogs and things, just here taking an evening walk. I'd have to sit here for 3 hours before I put the tent up. I'm just not sure that's in my nature. I get pretty bored. Alternatively, 3 hours could put me about 7 or 8 miles downrange. I could basically get to Helford. At which point then I'd be stuck, because I would have to find a B&B, because I don't know. So just keep going and see what I find between here and there. There must be more places like this, but this is flipping ideal, this. Just a great big meadow. I mean, it's sufficiently above sea level to be suitable. Particularly since the weather's going to be so calm tonight. Very irritating. It's a seal. It is a seal. I thought it was a dog. Swimming along, nose above the water. Gone now, gone under. See if I can see it again. Gone. I suppose he'll be back. So calm. I'm tempted to just stay here for 3 hours and then put the tent up. Have to look at the maps. So, lovely and idyllic as this is, I've run the numbers and I think I need to keep going. So I've got another 2 hours or so till sunset, in which time I could get at least 4 miles done. And I think if I'm going to make Falmouth by the end of day 2, in other words turn the first 3 days of my hike into 2 days, then I need to crack on and get more distance done today. I still need to be this side of the Helford ferry, because that's probably stopped running by now and won't happen tonight. But I need to be, basically need to take more miles out of tomorrow to be able to get the kind of day stages I need. So I end up in Helston by evening. Helston? Falmouth's the one. Helston's totally nothing to do with this plan. Now we go inland for some reason. Yeah, coast path goes up across that bridge and then up and over these countryside hills, away from the sea, for quite a way, actually. So I'm not quite sure why, but so I'm not sure what that does for my camping opportunities. I have to just keep an eye out. Yeah, see how far I get before it gets too dark to continue, and then hurriedly throw up in a corner of some field somewhere. Shame, this would have been lovely. But yeah, not enough miles. I'm going to do my thing. Chop chop. That's Porth Hoofstalk. Nothing here and it's all closed anyway. So Caverack 3.5, that's bonus mileage. Porth Hallow, I'm going to try and get there next before sunset. 1.25. Inland route. Still don't quite get why the coast path isn't running on the coast at this point. Probably something to do with that big old quarry there. I don't know what that big grey building is as well. Just a wall or what? Lovely. Apples? Alright, thanks. Cooking apples anyway. Got a lot of people turning up with vans and stuff. It says no overnight camping. So evening surfing. There's no surf to be had out there. Anyway, I'm going up there somewhere. Coast path. Basically just goes up the road at the moment. Up and over that hill down to another similar village, I think, and then beyond there, time to start looking for somewhere to camp. I'm confused what the time is as well. I think for a long period of today, my clock was out by 1 hour on my phone, and I don't know why. Can't prove it, but I think there's some sort of conspiracy going on. Anyway, up and away. Sure, that's gone up. Sure, there's 1.25 earlier. So, yeah, this is the southwest path. We don't do coast anymore. Coast is old and busted. There's a lot. I had to stop and get my map out just a minute ago because I got lost and confused. It's a lot more difficult when you don't have the sea on your side. Still, Porth Hallow should be bad to pick up the sea again and then it back to normal after that. Meantime, I'm just wandering around hinterland Cornwall, which is all very affluent. Lots of window boxes, lovely. And yeah, more hills than I'd like at this stage. Particularly since I filled my water up at the last village, because I figured what would be better than a few extra kilos of weight at this stage in the proceedings. I think I might be getting a bit grumpy. Still, if I get to Porth Hallow, which is the next one over, anywhere after that I can camp, because that would have put me 16 miles into a 32-mile stint. And then I'll do another 16 tomorrow, and there's not a sunset deadline on that one either. Rock up to any B&B that's got vacancies, street lights and such like in Falmouth. So yeah, it's good. Hard day, but yeah, doing it. No injuries or anything. Right, carry on, keep moving. So this inland stuff does bring a change of scenery. There's an orchard. Trees in rows, apple falls everywhere. Lots of them on the tree still. Oh, I don't even know what variety they are. Not really that hungry, to be honest. My scrumping days are long past. Probably cider apples though. Yeah, cool. And here we are, Porthallow Cove. Ooh. Yeah, feeling the bag a bit now. I don't know if that's a stitch coming on. The pub's not been open in a while. I don't think there's anything else here. Which is okay, after all that angst about time and distance, I probably ought to just keep moving anyway. Not much of anything here really. Let's hope I can pick up the coast, bit of the coast path again, which I think leads somewhere up that back side of that houses. Then up onto top of there, so we'll see. Overcasting now. Hard to tell where the sun is. I reckon I've still got 2 hours, which is weird. I don't know what's going on with time. Something sinister, no doubt. I might just sit for a little bit and then carrying on. So that's Porthallow done. So anything else is bonus miles. So I mean, anywhere I can. See, I think I've done 16 miles today. That's the maths of it all, anyway. Yeah, so basically anywhere from here on, that looks a likely spot. I shall throw my bags down and call home for the night. Although it is looking a bit up and down and slopey, so I have to see. Not too worried about wind exposure today. I mean, unless it changes drastically overnight, this is probably okay. Plus we're relatively sheltered from prevailings here anyway. Yeah, I'm just going to keep stumbling onwards until I find something that looks suitable, and then set up for the night. I think is the plan. So there's black things out there. Lobster pots, oyster racks. Markers of some sort, not birds. Yeah, some big underwater reef or something. Peculiar. Right, yeah, keep moving. Somebody will show up. Just hope it's not too slopey. Still going. Still found it suitable. Big field there full of cows. Get trampled in the night. Very, very slopey as well. I mean, it looks ideal actually. This patch right here, I could probably fit the tent into. It is right in the path. If that's a style I'm sat on. So the first jogger that comes along tomorrow morning is going to. I mean, you wouldn't even be able to get round the tent. It would just fit the entire space. It's a bit lumpy and downhill as well. It's the kind of thing I'm looking for, though. A bit like my first night out from Westward Ho. We ended up just off the side of the path near that big sort of pagoda thing. Sometimes the path looks like it's about to go off into some sort of scrambling around the edge of a cliff type territory, which doesn't bode well. So I've probably got another hour of that to get on with. It's all good distance. I really do need to. Well, I mean, there's a hard stop at Helford Passage anyway, because I need to use a ferry to get across. So I'll find something before then. But hopefully, I don't get all the way there, because that'll basically be about 22 miles in one day. It's, you know, it's doable, but I don't know what state that'll leave me in for tomorrow. Anywhere around here will be good, to be honest. Yeah, it's mostly the shoulders that are the problem at the moment. They're just aching. Carrying that all day. Legs seem okay. Feet are okay. Could do with getting the boots and socks off for a bit, but not quite yet. Yeah, I don't think I've damaged myself permanently yet, but if I keep going too much longer, it'll start to impact on later in the week. And then there wouldn't be much point getting all this extra time and distance in now. Anyway, some water's helped, so shall keep moving. Well, that's the Helford River. Across that, there's still a bit more fiddling about to do along there. There's about another 3 or 4 miles before we've reached the ferry, which is behind that left-hand side, I think. Yeah, got a bit further than I was hoping. Coast Guard lookout station down there, and if it all else fails, I'll just huddle in its lee This field looks promising, but I can see cow pats. They're not very fresh, so cattle might have been moved out of here. I don't know. But, I mean, just down there by the path would be a good spot, frankly. Looks reasonably flat, reasonably clear. Get away with that probably. People will be able to walk around the tent if they had to in the morning, although I don't anticipate being there that long. A little bit sheltered. I am very tempted. There's some guys on the end of the rocks there fishing. Can hear them. Don't imagine they'll give me any trouble. I don't think there's anybody in the Coast Guard station overnight. So yeah, I'm thinking somewhere around here to be honest, because much further I'm going to start damaging myself. I'm not sure I'm going to find anywhere better either. Yeah. This might have to do. Well, now I'm going to have to just sit around and chill, look nonchalant until it actually gets dark. Yeah, it's over there in the distance. That's Falmouth. That's tomorrow. Over there is St Mawes, and that's the Carrick Roads. I'll need a ferry to cross that. And that lighthouse is then where I'm going to walk past that lighthouse tomorrow. The path goes around the end of there and then off away to the end. So should be in for a good view tonight. Anyway, whatever else happens, twinkly lights on the horizon. But yeah, see what I can find in the way of campsites. I'm thinking probably just stay up there, to be honest, because can't be asked to go on any further. Just hope there's not any cattle in this field. I've been here recently, but I don't know about today. This cow shit looks pretty dry. Yeah, we'll see. I've got a feeling nothing better is going to suggest itself for a good number of miles, though. I am very much reaching the end of my energy for today. So I think the path goes down to the end around the lighthouse thing and then comes back to the far side and then goes off over there somewhere. Just trying to see if I can see any actual cows anywhere on this land. Might be suitable. It's got an electric fence around the outside, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. People don't put those up and take them down just because the cows are there or not. Leave them there. It's like a track running to the lighthouse, the Coast Guard station. Down there behind that hedge might be a better bet actually. Anyway, yeah, can't see any cows. Might be alright. They might have been moved recently. Otherwise I'm talking, well, I don't know, down where those coloured boats are. I'll just keep going and going and going and drop dead dramatically on the trail. Yeah, I'm thinking here. I mean, you know, a bit windy probably, but I'll be okay. It's not going to be hugely blowy tonight, I don't think. But, yeah, I could do with a sit down and just wolf an entire pack of honey roast peanuts or something. And I've got my trusty hip flask full of amaretto as well, that'll help. But yeah, let's just have a bit of a mooch about. It feels probably safe in terms of cattle. And how much? What's a cow going to do really? Nose at the tent scare me a bit. They don't eat like polyurethane or whatever the tent's made of. Yeah. All right. I'm just going to put the camera away and have a mooch about, and I'll probably talk to you once I'm set up. I forgot to push record. Brilliant. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah, this looks perfect. Found a spot. Gave up on the Coast Guard thing because it turns out Coast Guards are quite vigilant and patient and have binoculars. So here, look here, this. So we're sort of on the path, but not on the path. National Trust land. Okay, I'll keep it tidy, I promise. There's someone's private boat launch jetty down there, but that's the first thing on Monday. They go boating. It'll be alright. Mostly for the moorings, I suppose, pilot boats and such. Patio furniture over there, it's probably somebody's house further along, I don't know, someone's garden. Don't know, not sure, don't care. I am going to stake a claim here, I think, for the evening. Hopefully it gets actually proper dark. I haven't seen anyone on the trail for a couple of hours because most normal people are not on the trail anymore. This will do me. Looks perfect. And yeah, as long as I don't take the piss in the morning and up and away and packed by 7 or so, should be good. That'll probably put me by the Helford ferry before about 9ish. Good. Okay, I'm going to chill for a bit and then ninja camp. Go, 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 go. Oh. There we go. All done. Home sweet home. Too dark to see. Yeah. Yeah, I see all the low light kicking in. Yeah, so it's about, I don't know, 7:15. And I'm sorted. Of course, the smart question would have been, why is this big grassy area so free of waist-high weeds or rubble or whatever? And the answer is it's artificial. Why is it so flat? It's artificial. It's about that deep of moss, and then underneath that is just hard-packed rubble and stones. I think it's meant to be a turning circle for like boats, trailers and stuff down the little jetty thing there. That's okay. The pegs are not in as well as I'd like. But I'm not expecting there to be any actual wind, so I know, shocking, look at that. It'll do till the morning. I mean, the poles do most of the work keeping it up anyway, so it's good. And we've got a lot of good tree cover here. There's a perfect spot apart from the ground there. That is the path there. I'm going to be up before anyone else comes along, I think. So, blimey, what first day? So I think I've done about 16, 17 miles today, which is not bad for a first day, which means I can do similar again tomorrow and be in Falmouth at the end of the day, removing an unnecessary middle day between Coverack and Helford River, Helford Crossing, which will put me a day ahead even at Falmouth. So it means I could just saunter along for the rest of the trip, really, but well, I know that probably won't happen either. Yeah, so we'll see how we go. Anyway, I need a good night's sleep, and this phone needs a big battery top up as well, so I shall be doing both of those things tonight. So, see you tomorrow.